Morning tubers, it's about 20 after 8 and we're about 70 in the garage. Yeah, it got cold last night. I think the high was 56 and I'm not probably going to open the garage door because the wind's blowing. Weatherhead sat there and Thursday night news said the wind was going to be over by Saturday, and last night they said it's going to be over tonight, so we'll see. So we're back on the panel today. Yesterday I was just doing some trimming here. I trimmed all the fleece off the mounting surface, and I started trimming it off here, but I need to put the camera on the tripod and explain a few things to you guys as far as it is, but it's solid. There are 3 coats on the outside and 3 coats on the inside, so it's a solid panel, and it'll do. Goes in just like that. So what we're going to need to do is, let me get this camera on the tripod, and I'll do some explaining and show you guys a few things and what my thoughts are and what we're going to do today. So hang on, be back in a minute. Later, guys. Hey tubers, well, let me explain a few things on this. Remember when I tied the fishing line here, it was to pull this down tight, and I tied the fishing line here to pull it down tight here because I needed these flanges cleared for mounting the panel on there. Well, if you look, the fleece never pulled down there. And the reason being is if I put a piece of fishing line here pulling it down that way, I would have lost this and lost that. And all I need to do was do a small section in here for the recess for the locking mechanism for the seat, and to sit there and to get this flange exposed, so we can always sit there and piece in a piece of fleece in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this right along here and expose this flange. Fleece, as you can see, it'll stretch really good one direction, but not so good in the other. So that's what we're doing. So I'm using my Dremel. Hold on, guys. I'm using my Dremel, and as you can see, the wheel is just meant for plastic. It'll scar up the metal, but it won't cut it, and it won't gouge it. It'll just scar it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, I cut this all out. I'll fill it up with fiberglass cloth, because I only want it to go to the side of the flange. I need to keep the holes, the mounting holes, open on the flange, so just bring it over. Just be simple patch, nothing much. This is the hard one. I cut that piece out, as you can see, because we need to expose this hole and this hole. This went right in here like this, and there wasn't much to sit there in because it came up, and there wasn't much to sit there and do it. But if anybody wanted to know how hard solid it got, I thought of doing it with a piece of fleece, but we'll see. We might end up doing that. But the reason for the masking tape, and I'll explain it. This is another reason, another way that the stereo guys do it. So they'll put masking tape down like this, and then they'll just coat this with rosin, and then put mat in there, and then coat the mat and everything else, and it'll make a panel that'll fit right in here. So then they'll pull it out and take the masking and cut the masking tape and sand it off on the back. Who cares what's on the back? And then they'll fit it. They'll fit it right in, or they'll fit it wherever they need it to fit. But for me right now, it's just trying to decide which way I want to go in doing this. Again, we're still going to end up doing work in this area here for the latch mechanism. But before we do all this, we are going to put this in and see how it looks and how it fits. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, just a quick update. I might rather than do this, sit there and we'll trim this up. The tape up, I already trimmed it here, but we'll trim the tape up. But instead of using mat, we'll just go ahead and use this instead of the mat. And leave the tape in place, because this will fold nice and neat. And we'll do it in 2 steps so we can wrap this around. I want to wrap it around because it gives me a better cushion, but it'll sit there and give me something when it goes up against the side of the car. So I'm kicking this around. I've never done this before, so you're learning as well as you're learning about this as I'm going. So this will be interesting. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, I tried something that I've never done before, but I used contact cement, Super 77, and sprayed it and attached the fleece down with that. And now we'll get ready to just coat it in some fiberglass rosin and see what happens. Don't know what I'll do with this back. I'm going to have to do something. Maybe I'll just cut pieces of fleece and put it in here, and just to fortify it and get rid of the masking tape. But yeah, this looks like it's going to hold. I mean, the fleece is down there. It ain't going anywhere. But this is interesting. Everybody suggested super glue or glue it down and don't use the clips. You know, when you're reluctant to try something new, when that wasn't the way you were taught. And I went ahead and did that. So that's interesting. It seemed to work. We'll find out. Like I said, you're learning with me on this one, guys. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers. Okay, all the modifications have been made to it. As far as now, we get to sit there and slide the bolt holes through. This is on, and also we put some cloth along this edge here to roll it so it's nice and smooth. And we did cover up the back. Actually, I put a couple of coats of fiberglass on that, but we did cover this up here. So, but now we're going to test fit it and see what else we got to cut off and how it's going to work. And then down in this area somewhere, we're going to have to make a slot for that bracket to go through. So that's what's up next. Then the final addition will be, let me open the car door. The final will be is making something for the bolt, the latch bolt to stick out for the seat to latch. So, but first we're going to slide this in and see how good it gets. And when I have more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, just visualize this black and then you'll see. Excuse me, I gotta change hands with the camera. As you can see, I had to trim the search to get this in, but what I'll do is while it's in is I'll fiberglass cloth it and cover this back up and then reinforce it from behind. But I'll leave the gap, this big gap here, this will be painted black, and that'll be it. Now this up here, we'll probably cut it roughly right along here, and then we'll insert, I'll take a piece of probably 1/2 inch CPVC pipe and insert it in here, And so then this bolt will go through and like this. So that's all you'll see is this portion from here out. And then we'll take a cap and cover this up. But it's in, it's all screwed in, it's there, and this has been a long day. Up here we'll just mat it to bring it up. And this doesn't even need much. This is the biggest one right here. I will probably work on correcting that over on this one. Learned a lot in doing this one, but as you can see, it's there. So this will be the last one for today. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and most of all leaving comments. I don't know if I'll be on this tomorrow, but what we're going to do next is we're going to put the seat back in and make sure that we still have clearance here in case I got to do any more modification on these here. But I don't think so. I think we'll get, the seat comes roughly right up in here. So I think we're going to be good. So there it is. You put your carpeting down here, carpeting going up here, and this will be all black. Now, I haven't decided whether I'm going to vinyl or just paint it black and be done with it, but I will sand it and body work it and get all these lumps and crap out of it. And there is a gap here from this piece going on to here. There is some more reinforcement needed back in here, but once I build this and get it in and test it, and we'll sit there and see how much we'll be able to do. So that's all I got for now. I'm going to start babbling on later, guys.